It does get difficult there because they want all the songs that like you play at the college parties, but the teachers are like, keep it all right, like and they're like, no, we don't want to listen to this.
Yeah, it's just like, what do I do? And then, yeah, that's exactly what happens. Especially like, I think that's what happened with the last one where I got booed at. Wow, you would bring that up when we start recording. I got booed by a bunch of 8th graders. Welcome to the Punchin The Clock podcast, your 9 to 5 show. Today we have a remarkable guest, an individual who's worked with Kent State University. Her talents have allowed her to work with notable professional athletes such as Braxton Miller and his Charging Elite Academy, and also alongside the LeBron James Family Foundation. Please give it up for Nya Booker.
Hi, guys. Oh, my gosh. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Appreciate you being here on the show. We had a lot of great off the air, talk.
Yeah.
Just catching up.
Yep.
So with resume that you have, how do you stay grounded? What keeps you grounded?
My family ultimately keeps me grounded. They keep me humble. They keep me level-headed, and I don't live at home anymore, so going back home, my little brothers really remind me that I'm not special, and the little brother way that they do. But yeah, my family ultimately keeps me grounded, and I think being able to work in such creative spaces that I'm able to work in with really creative people, I think that's what keeps me grounded the most.
So what keeps you, do you ever struggle with like being consistent?
Oh yeah, for sure.
So what keeps you going? That, I guess, the family just...
Yeah, my family, knowing that people are depending on me. Yeah, I have a great support system, so.
Absolutely. I'm kind of the same way. Whenever I kind of get in my head, we're always our biggest critiques.
Yep.
My nieces, my nephews, my sisters, my brothers, they'll call me on FaceTime, Uncle Kyle. Especially my youngest niece, Marley. She was like, Uncle Kyle.
Oh my gosh.
All right, Uncle Kyle. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Over here cheesing. But me personally, I'm the biggest fan when it comes to you getting your game day pictures, when you're capturing the pictures coming off the plane or the bus. And I kind of dig it because oftentimes people aren't used to getting their pictures taken by an actual photographer.
Yeah.
So I guess in the beginning of my career, I wasn't really used to being in front of the camera and actually someone capturing me in my element. So what does that necessarily mean to you when they see the pictures and they light up and they get really excited about your work?
It's I think it's more exciting for me to get to be able to capture these experiences for people. This is their college career. These are coaches or student employees' first time on a plane, and they're walking off. Who doesn't want to get to experience that again from a picture? So just being able to capture that in the moment experience makes me the most happy, I guess, if that makes sense.
I feel it. So out of that excitement, have you ever had someone post your work without tagging or edit your work without your permission?
If the players see this, they're so gonna get on me about it because I do get mad at them, but it's like a joking mad. I feel like I'm at the point in my career where most of the people or the players from Kent who post my work, most of them are like, people know you took it. Like, I don't really feel the need to tag you. And that makes sense. Yeah. I get it. But some more of the bigger people I've worked with who don't give me the credit or the tag, it's like, that's a missed opportunity.
Yeah, because I was going to ask, what is it like having to ask a 250-pound linebacker, hey, don't edit my picture.
Yeah.
Don't make sure you tag me.
I think it's so funny whenever like I edit them a specific way.
Mm,
I don't put anything on our Google Drive for football that I don't think is like postable
mm,
worthy.
yeah.
So I'm really strategic about it. And when they go and screenshot it and put the stupid Instagram Rio de Janeiro filter on it, I'm like, why? Why would you do that? I set you up for success.
Oh my gosh. No, I think your pictures, your whole page has a certain aesthetic to it. And really it blends. It works.
Oh, really? Thanks.
I love it.
Thank
Huge
you.
fan. You know, just give me a cup and autograph and we're good.
Yeah.
So going back to game day, is there like an adrenaline rush before or during the game?
Yeah, I do get an adrenaline rush the same way the players do. Like walking on the field for the first time, I'm like, okay, wow, this is happening. But I think I get more of an adrenaline rush from seeing the in the moment reactions from the players. Like I get to see them during practice, but that's so different from the first time stepping onto Arkansas's field, which is an SEC school.
Wow.
Which is pretty cool.
So you're just ready to run through a door.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
I'm ready for anything.
So being in so many different stadiums, what would you say was your most memorable game day moment?
I can't really. There's so many.
Mm.
But one moment that I specifically remember was last season at Georgia.
Mm.
That was such a big crowd, such a big, cool stadium and experience, them coming off of a national championship. But I remember CJ Harris, it was during halftime. He was sitting on one of a cart or something. He was just sitting there, his head down. He was praying. I'm like, oh my gosh, like this is his moment. Like he's having a moment right now. And I captured it. And that's just one moment I remember. I'm like, wow, like this is why I like to do what I do.
Yeah, and I think we're if I remember correctly, we weren't favored to win that game.
No.
We gave Georgia a run for their money.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. Shocked everybody. Everybody.
So with your passion, I don't want to say, like you're very passionate about sports, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So how do you feel when you get on like Instagram and someone's, I don't know, being a critic about your team?
I do take it personally. I do get a little bit defensive about it because you're on Instagram commenting something about the thing that people have worked so hard for, and I don't see you doing what they're doing. So you cannot say anything about what they're doing because you don't do it.
Yes.
It's the same way, like, just with about anything people hate comment on. Why?
Yeah. I feel like a lot of the hate comments now, they're not good.
No.
You know, back in the day, it'd be decent, you know. Hate comments are good, period. But, you know, it's just like L.
Yes.
Like, what does that mean? It lacks so much content. Tell me why my content is L. Tell me why it's an L. Don't just say L. It lacks context.
Yeah.
So I feel like the same way when our boys went to the NCAA tournament. Mm-hmm. And then everybody was like, oh, you know, y'all played terrible, X, Y, Z. I'm in the comment section. Like, I'm going back and forth because I know a lot of the guys, they can't. They've been taught not to respond to it. And then also, like, the Instagram page itself, they're not going to respond. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to air it. I'm just going to air it out. I'm like, dude, I see you in class. Like, why are you bashing these guys who are leaving it all out on the court for you?
Yeah. Yep.
And I feel the same way when it comes to like when we bring artists to Kent. You're not gonna like everybody that we bring to Kent.
Right.
I remember which one had the worst reaction? I think it was when we had the artist and Black Bear. That year when we had Black Bear originally. And people were like, oh, and it's just no knock to Black Bear if he happens to watch my one out of a million podcasts.
Right.
But like we got Black Bear and people were like, oh, you know, who's Black Bear? And then nobody reached out to me like, well, congratulations. There was 2 people that reached out to me that was like, congratulations for this. Everybody else was just like, you know, who is this?
Right.
It kind of hurt.
Yeah.
It bothered me, but you know, you just gotta take those names on the chin.
Right.
Yeah, definitely. So With your vast variety of working with different companies and people, how do you how do these opportunities come about?
I would say the biggest thing is I started really small.
Mm.
So I started with my high school team, and then I applied for Kent State. And I would look on Instagram. A lot of places have camps.
Mm-hmm.
So just making really those notable connections with people. I DM'd somebody on Instagram, and I was like, hey, can I come take pictures at your camp?
Mm.
And they're like, yeah. So I went to the camp. And then the next second, I was meeting Denzel Ward and Braxton Miller, and I got connected with Braxton, who I work for now and do his social medias for his charging academy. And just like those are the things that people need to like highlight, making those tiny, tiny connections, because everybody wants to go pro. Everybody wants to go pro first, but it's like, okay, start small and make your way there.
I feel like that's one of the things I hate when younger DJs reach out to me and they look at my page, and I think this is what the podcast is about, is not everything happens overnight.
Yep.
And understanding that everything is a process. You're going to have to take the free gig.
Yep.
You're going to have to be up at 6 o'clock in the morning after going to bed at 2 a.m. That's going to happen. That's part of the process. Mm-hmm. And I feel like, you know, what you said, starting small, that often gets overlooked.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I appreciate you sharing that.
Yeah, no problem.
So is there any dream company or individual that you would love to work with in the future?
There's so many different brands. I would say Nike, obviously. Who doesn't want to work with Nike? But athlete-wise, I'm a big Odell fan. I love Odell. I hope one day I'm able to take his picture. Obviously LeBron.
The king.
Yes, the GOAT. But yeah, those are my top two.
Okay.
Yeah.
I dig it. So with working with the I Promise program, is there a lot of pressure being the big sis for the kids?
I would say there's no pressure at all.
No pressure.
It's pretty they make it easy.
It's natural.
Yeah.
Because you're a big sister at home, right?
Yep. I have 2 little brothers who are 13.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they're around the same age.
Yep.
Wow. Yeah. My personal story, that's a long story. I'm probably going to say that for another podcast. But if people don't know, I am adopted. I did meet my older brothers and sisters like 2 years ago.
Oh, that's awesome.
You know, I'm kind of contending for Uncle of the Year right now. You know, I'll throw my name in the hat. So what does it mean to be like a role for them?
For me, whenever I am able to be with them, when I'm not like doing my everyday day-to-day stuff, I simply remember the people that I looked up to when I was their age. And there's a lot of, they're on TikTok, they're on social media. They see, I'm not saying the people who are up there are bad influencers to the younger generations, but they're not the best.
Yeah.
And I try to like remind them, okay, like I'm from Akron, I'm just like you, I'm in school, I have issues that not a lot of people talk about. And I think like them seeing somebody who's there next to them and normal and from where they're from, it's just like, yeah, I can be her.
Yeah, being a positive role model.
Yep.
Okay, I love that. Because, like I said, I was raised as the only child, so I really didn't have older siblings. I had a great role model.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys are parents.
Right.
You have great foundation. I didn't grow up struggling.
Yeah.
But also, you kind of need someone outside of your nest.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I appreciate you doing that. You know what I'm saying? Because even though it may seem mundane in a way, you are making a change in these kids' lives.
I hope. It just takes one person. That's it.
Absolutely. So looking back, what would you say was your most treasured moment with the I Promise program?
Probably opening day of the I Promise school. That was, I cried tears that day. It was just such an eye-opening moment and an eye-opening experience because that was my first year volunteering with the foundation as a 3-3 ambassador. And we volunteered that day just at the school, and I remember seeing the kids. I didn't really know any of them, but knowing what the I Promise School was going to bring to the Akron community um, was just the best reward that anybody could get that day.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So looking back to a point in time when you were their age, um, were you interested in photography, like, what, eighth, seventh, sixth grade when you were their age?
No, so actually, when I was in like sixth, seventh, eighth grade, I wanted to be a brain surgeon. That's what I wanted to be. I had my mind set. I was going to be a brain surgeon. I was going to make lots of money.
Mm.
But in sixth grade, this is how I got started with photography. In sixth grade, my mom let me have Instagram.
Mm.
And around the same time, my older brother was playing football at Ohio State. I followed Ohio State on Instagram, and I was looking for him in every single picture and every single video. And I was ultimately just so captivated by the work that they were doing, not even looking for my brother anymore. I was just a big Ohio State Instagram fan. And I remember saying, okay, like, this is cool. How do I do this? You couldn't screen record on an iPhone 4 when I was in sixth grade. But I took my iPad mini, and I recorded every single video that he was in. And I just remember like that moment, and I would never ever would have guessed that like that's what I would be doing now. Yeah.
Wow. So you brought up social media. So would you agree that oftentimes you could be your biggest critic?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. So when it comes to sharing your work on social media, what does that process look like?
It's a tricky process. I put out what I want people to see. Obviously, your best work.
Yeah.
But social media, I try not to let social media get to my head too much. Like the amount of people that like it or the amount of people that follow me, because I know my work is good, and if people want to look at it and like it, they're going to look at it and like it.
Yeah, because I hate that when, like, oftentimes people confuse confidence with arrogance.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you need to humble yourself.
Right.
I'm just posting a picture, man.
Yeah.
Are you calculated when it comes to the captions? Do you take a lot of time when you pick a caption?
Not like my Flicks by Nya captions, but every other like social media that I run, they're really calculated, and I take time.
Yeah, I try to go with like song lyrics.
Yeah.
Either title of a song or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. It's tough. It's tough.
Social media is so tough. It's because you just want to compare yourself to other people.
Yeah.
But I always have to remind myself that you're Nya. You're not anybody else, and people follow you because you're Nya, and you're not trying to be somebody else.
Exactly, and that's going to lead to my next statement, because I will often compare like the DJ world or even just being a creative in general to the NBA, because you have so many individuals who are quote unquote doing the same thing.
Yeah.
So how important is it for photographers or creators to develop their own unique style, and what steps can you give to achieve that?
I would say it's really important for you to obviously establish yourself as a creator and as a photographer first. I just think it comes naturally with your work. Like people are going to recognize and realize that that's your work, and you put time and effort into looking up inspiration and being in the moment. I don't know. It's just really raw and natural. I don't know how else to explain it.
No, I dig it. I guess it's your authenticity.
Yeah. Yeah.
Raw and natural. I think what shaped me when I was younger was YouTube.
Yeah.
Looking at creators like Casey Neistat, guys like that. Were you a big YouTube? Did YouTube play a part in your childhood?
Not really.
Not really.
I look up YouTube videos now, like to learn different stuff in Photoshop and how to edit the background to look darker or whatever. But for my inspiration, I look at different creators and photographers that I look up to, I'm like, okay, well, Cameron Look. I love Cameron Look. Like, if
Cameron.
Cameron Look is ever watching this, Cameron Look, come to Akron and come visit. But yeah, Cameron Look it's probably my favorite photographer ever, and I see the work that he does, and he if he took a picture, you'd be able to tell that it's his work without the watermark on it.
Okay.
But yeah, I would say I forget what we were talking about.
No,
Honestly.
no, you're good. You're good.
I love Cameron Look so much.
How do you feel about photographers watermarking their work?
I think it's okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are there any things in the photography world that you feel are kind of gimmicky in a way?
Like, what do you mean?
Like, for example, me, when it comes to watching content put out by DJs, dang, I don't want to sound shady, because this is gonna ruffle a couple feathers, but dang, I don't want to go there.
Give me another example.
All right. So, for example, there is the professor. He's an amazing basketball player, known for street ball.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't say he was gimmicky when he did this. He actually started a trend.
Okay.
So what he did first was he would go to basketball courts dressed up as Spider-Man.
Okay.
Spider-Man plays basketball 1-on-1. Ooh. Now you're seeing everybody dress up as a character, Marvel character, and I don't feel like that's authentic. So
Yeah.
it kind of comes off as gimmicky.
Right.
Now, have you ever experienced that or seen that in photography?
No,
Okay.
but yes. I've never experienced it myself. I know everybody, if somebody sees an idea, like the stop motion pictures that I do, a lot of other people have done that before.
Okay.
But I think everybody puts their own little spin and own little taste on it because everybody's different.
Yeah.
Like, my work is not going to look like hers, and her work's not going to look like mine. So that's why I think yes and no.
So it goes back to authenticity.
Yes.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
So, before we wrap things up, is there any upcoming events or projects that you're looking for in the future that you could promote to our viewers and listeners?
There's nothing. It's just football season right now.
Just football season.
Yeah.
What do you ever have an off season? Anything like that?
No off season.
Yeah.
I'm always it's school, work, football during football season, and then school, work, basketball. Like, I'm always traveling in the off season.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when you say work, where do you work outside of photography?
I do LeBron's Foundation.
Okay.
And then Braxton Miller, and yeah, just little tiny opportunities that come my way.
I feel it. I think I struggle with off-season syndrome.
Yeah.
It's because I'm not getting booked enough. So y'all got to book me a little bit more.
Yes, book him.
Yeah, I'm talking about off-season like it's a sport. No, in my off time. That's why it's called Punchin The Clock. I work at Aldi's. I'm a shift. No, I'm a stocker.
Yeah.
I'm a stocker. So I'll be up. First alarm is at 4:30 in the morning.
Oh my gosh.
I got to be there at 6 o'clock. Yeah, no, it's the grind.
Wow.
It's the grind,
Do you feel like, so I don't think I've ever heard your startup story.
Wow.
So do you think that did you face any adversity getting into being a DJ? And
wow, that's a good question. That's a loaded question. Nah. So which version do you want? Do you want the Kent State version, me getting started in Kent State, or do you want the raw starting in high school?
The raw starting in high school.
Wow. So when I first started DJing, I believe I was 16 years old. I think I had my first equipment. I got my first equipment at 14. My mom got me a small controller, and it collected dust for the first year.
Mm-hmm.
Then when 15, 16 rolled around, I decided I was going to take it a little bit more seriously.
Yeah.
So I started off doing smaller events. My first event was a Boys and Girls Club that I found off of Craigslist
Oh my gosh.
as a 16-year-old. My mom hated that.
Yeah.
She was like, "You're on Craigslist? Why are you
Craigslist.
posting ads on Craigslist?"
That's scary.
But it was before Craigslist was a creep place.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I get my first event in off of Craigslist. It was for a lady in Lorraine, and nobody showed up. Great,
Mm-hmm.
it worked out. I ended up getting paid. I played music, cool.
Yeah.
And I think after that it was then it was the Boys and Girls Clubs, and they had parties like that.
Okay.
And it was, looking back, it was a well needed experience.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think it's always good to be rough around the edges when you're first starting out.
Yeah.
I think with social media that people kind of forget, like you have to suck first.
Yes.
You know?
100%.
And I remember, and I was always true and honest and fair with myself.
Yes.
So when it came to, I remember this one event that I did. I was still young. I was like, I don't think I did that good.
Mm-hmm.
And I gave the lady like $30 back.
Yeah.
I was like charging $25 an hour or something like that. So I was like, yeah, I didn't do that good today. Here's your $30 back.
Yeah.
So constantly being my biggest critic,
Mm-hmm.
perfectionist. And then it also started with getting a mentor. Shout out to DJ Cairo. He's the DJ for Progressive Field.
Okay.
Reaching out to him, DJ Dare, Anton, Cleveland renowned DJ, and those two really just showing me the ropes.
Yeah.
So I actually met them for my senior project. We were supposed to get like a 50-hour work internship, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So got the 50 hours with them. And the funny thing about Anton, I remember I reached out to him, and I called a Guitar Center, and they're like, "Yeah, we have a DJ on here, and you know, he said he was interested. His name's Anton." So I'm like, "All right, cool." So I walk in. So I see a guy at the front desk. I'm like, "Oh, what's up, man?" So I walk into the back with audio area, and I'm thinking it's a brother. You know what I'm saying? With a name like Anton,
Yeah.
I thought it was a brother.
Yeah.
So I'm walking around. So I walk to the front. I'm like, I see this white guy, and he's like, I'm like, yeah, I'm looking for Anton. He was like, oh, that's me. I'm like, oh. I thought Anton was a black guy.
Yeah.
All due respect. I thought, yeah. So that's how we ended up meeting. They really helped sand my edges down and get me ready for college.
Mm-hmm.
I was a nut job in high school. I remember I was like, yeah, I don't want to go to prom. I want to.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And my reason for not going to prom, I was like, I don't want to go to prom because I want to spend time practicing. I want to be a DJ.
Yeah.
You know, looking back on it, I don't know. That's like one of the, like, I don't want to say Kobe was a nut job, but like you kind of had to be a nut job up here to demand perfection from yourself.
Yep.
Like, looking like Kobe will probably say that I don't want to go to prom. I want to get shots up in the gym.
Yeah.
I wanted to be like that mindset. And they're like, dude, go to prom.
Yeah. That's so funny.
Go to prom, dude. And so coming into Kent, I thought I was like a 7 out of 10. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna come in Kent. I'm gonna take it over. No, I mean, and then got very humbled quick. There are other DJs in Kent, DJ Flavors, DJ Soiree, DJ Peja. You know, these guys were really holding it down. Mm-hmm. And if I wanted to make any moves, I had to compete against these guys.
Yeah.
And, you know, I believe competition breeds champions. And with COVID, when COVID finally came and everything, it set everybody back to zero.
For sure.
Not only Kent, but Akron, Cleveland, and, you know, Peja, he ended up moving, I think, to the West Coast. And the other two DJs, they were just mainly in Akron. So it was kind of like just free game.
Yeah.
So got in touch with the people from athletics, Like, hey, I'm a DJ. I've been doing it for this many years. Here's my mentor. Here's my resume. I'm like, all right, cool. Got in touch with them. They brought me back for a scrimmage. The guys love me, and yeah, that's pretty much the basis of everything.
That's
Sorry for our
awesome.
long-winded explanation,
That's
but yeah,
awesome.
it's it's tough. There's been times where I've struggled
Yeah.
immensely, motivation wise. Even going back to Audis, I was like, you know, I started my job back at Audis like a month ago, and I was like, dude, I've opened up for Lil Yachty, Cash Dog, Quavo. What do I look like going back to
Yeah.
Audis? I was like, dude, I gotta be real. I gotta set my pride to the side. I was like, dude, you need this paycheck.
Right.
you're,
Yeah.
you're. Let's be real. I get what you're saying, but you need this paycheck more than anything.
For sure.
And but yeah.
That's awesome. When I started at Kent, I actually got rejected. They told me that I wasn't offered like the internship position my freshman year.
Wow.
So I took the year and got grounded, and really humbling because I thought I was good in high school. But looking back on those pictures, I'm like, oh, maybe they made the right choice.
Oh yeah.
But no, I hear you when you say like about the sacrifice thing in high school. When I took pictures, I wasn't in the student section anymore. I didn't get to experience like the high school game day hype. I was on the field with all the football players, and I think with my work now, I experience a lot of sacrifice, and I don't get to hang out with my friends as normal or see my family as much because I'm always traveling. But I love what I do, and just like you said, the nut job like mentality, and yeah.
Yeah, no. I want to highlight sacrifice. I want to highlight that largely because I think it takes sacrifice and also being, and it's like the third time I said this on here, authentic with yourself. You got to be authentic with yourself.
Yeah.
And that really started in high school as well. Like, I played 3 sports: baseball, basketball, and golf.
Yes. Wow.
And my senior year for basketball, I didn't finish my senior year for basketball.
Mm-hmm.
I quit halfway through. I was like, dude, I'm not getting playing time. No scouts are looking at me. I already knew that going into it. So I was like, you know what? I think I need to focus on other things, my other passions, getting a job.
Yeah.
And like I said, I knew, looking back on it, I wasn't going to be a D1 recruit. Had to be completely real with myself.
Yes.
So I got out, focused on DJing and baseball. Ended up getting MVP, Offensive Player of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, stuff like that. But I think I was able to bring the mentality of basketball into baseball. I think you have to have a winner's mentality. The way you step onto a field, your demeanor.
Yep.
Because that was one of the things that we struggled with as the baseball team going out on the field. I'm like, dude, you guys look like you lost before you even walk on. No, you're supposed to beat a team as soon as you get off the field.
Right.
As soon as you walk off of the bus, that team supposed to look over and see, like, well, we're done.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't have that killer mentality. We didn't have that killer demeanor. And that was something that I feel that I brought. Not only me, but a couple other guys that we played with, because we had a team full of football players, basketball players. So it was a ragtag team, but we were tough. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, just having that demeanor and knowing to carry yourself with confidence.
Yes.
So when it comes to competition, is there a lot of competition when it comes to photography?
I wouldn't say there's much. Like, for me personally, I don't think there's competition. Everybody's work is authentic to them.
Yeah.
So there's no way that there could be a competition, because my vision and your vision are so different. And I appreciate and value your vision just as much as I appreciate and value mine. But I would say in the football, male-dominated sports world, there's a lot of I don't want to be like confrontational here, but it's really hard to be a woman that works in sports, because most of the time people don't take you seriously. And it's just like the constant struggle of having to prove yourself over and over and over and over again that you're meant to be here and you're good at what you do. And I think that's the struggle I battle with in myself, and I see other women who work in sports battle and struggle with the same thing. And it sucks that we have to consistently prove ourselves to other people that, yeah, I know football.
Yeah.
I take pictures for football. Like, I'm here for the right reasons. I'm good at what I do. And like, you have to carry yourself with that confidence. And if you don't, the world will eat you alive.
Yes. Yes. And I think it's really interesting because looking at the people that you work with a very diverse group of people with many different ethnicities.
Yes.
What is that like? You know, just working with people who understand your struggles.
Yeah, it's good to see many different perspectives. The different women that work on the football team, they've been at multiple different programs, or people that were on the team last year who've went to other schools. It's really neat to see women in that field and growing. And I look up to so many people, not maybe in the sports world, but just like in the world in general. But yeah.
Pretty cool. So before you came into Kent, was there anybody that you idolized, or like when I come into Kent, I got to meet this person? Was there anybody like that?
I really looked up to Brenna Lewis.
Brenna Lewis.
Yes.
Brenna, she working with the Cavs, right?
Yes, she is. She's doing amazing. But I looked up to Brenna, and I knew who Leah was before I came to Kent State football. And those were like the two people that I watched during the season that I took the time off. And then when I got to work with them, it was pretty cool because they're both amazing, and they're both doing really, really amazing things right now. So.
Yeah. So have you ever had anybody come up to you yet and like, oh, Nya, I've always idolized your work. I've just been such a huge fan. Has that happened yet?
It has. Like, people will DM me on Instagram being like, I love your work. How did you get started? How did you get here? But I feel like I'm in the point in my career where I'm not yet, like, I don't feel like I should be idolized yet. I think, again, I'm pretty humble about it.
Yeah.
And, but yeah, whenever people do DM me, it's like, oh my gosh, this just made my entire year.
Yeah, no, I think a lot of people struggle with, I don't want to say wanting to be an idol, wanting to be an influencer. I think, I do think people struggle with that.
Yeah.
And to see that you're grounded, that's really good. I believe you have a head start on a lot of people, because there's people that are buying verification badges.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, you want to be an influencer? That will be the only shade that I throw today. If you're buying a blue check, shame on you.
Yeah, I don't know if I could throw $16 a month for that. It's cool and everything, but it's just not as cool anymore that people can buy it.
Yeah, no, seriously, I think, and part of me, I will admit, part of me, I was, before you could pay for the blue check, I was like, dude, I want a blue check.
I applied every 30 days.
30 days, yep.
I will not lie. I applied every 30 days. I thought I had all the verification I needed. The people I've worked with, like, oh yeah, she's set. No, Instagram humbled me real fast.
Very fast. And the cheat code to check if someone's blue check is legit, I'll go to ChatGPT, search their name.
No way.
And if ChatGPT is like, yeah, we don't know who this person is, you should not have a blue check.
Watch out.
Yeah. We're checking your blue checks.
He's checking.
I'm checking. Now it has nothing to do with my devious acts. But yeah.
Do you travel, like, outside of Kent and Cleveland?
Oh man. Do I travel?
For DJing or for fun?
The furthest I've traveled was PA. It was for a Mud Girl event, and they have these, like, it's across the United States. These Mud Girls, it's like a obstacle course.
Okay.
So that was the furthest I've traveled. I was really trying to be like their on-field DJ.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, all you got to do is hook me up with a plane, hotel room. I was kind of at the point where like, you ain't got to pay me. You just pay for travel in the hotel room.
Yeah.
I'm good. Just to say I did something and to experience it.
Right.
I haven't traveled yet. I was, no. So I guess in a way I have traveled.
Oh yeah, PA is travel.
PA is travel. What have been your experiences with traveling? Any tips that I should take when it comes to traveling with equipment, stuff like that? TSA pre-check.
I would say like I have TSA pre-check now because I hate waiting in that line, and I travel so much that it's just a necessity for me. But I don't take a checked bag. I always take a carry-on because I'm always there for like the day, or I'm there for one day. But traveling as like a photographer, as a creative, I would say I traveled for free. Like they would pay for my plane, they'd pay for the hotel room. I wouldn't get paid.
Oh no.
Just for the experience, got to take pictures of incredible athletes, like put it on my resume. But then I had to go into like self-reflection mode, and I'm like, wait, like, Nya, why are you not getting paid for this? Like, you spend hours of time editing pictures, get paid.
Yeah.
So my biggest tip for any photographer, any creative, any videographer is to know your worth and multiply that by 3, because people will try to get over on you for it. But yeah.
Oh man, yeah, that's great advice, because yeah, like I said, I've yet to be flown out yet. I'm just gonna put that out there.
Flown out.
I'm trying to. I do prefer the window seats.
Yes.
In the back.
The back.
Yes.
I am a middle front girl.
You could feel that. See, I don't like turbulence. I hate turbulence.
I feel the most turbulence in the back. I get sick in the back. I can't.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I need the back. I don't feel anything in the back. Maybe it's a height difference.
Maybe. That's interesting.
We might have to do some research on that.
Yeah.
Because TSA pre-check, and then okay. So how do you drill into your head that this is work, not vacation?
Most of the time I travel alone. So I'm not traveling with my friends or my family. I'm traveling simply by myself. I get the Uber, go to the hotel. Then from there, it's like, okay, like do work, do homework. And then the next day you have the event, and you Uber to the event, then you Uber back to the hotel or to the airport, and then you're done.
Dang, so there's no time for yourself.
There's no time. Well, there is sometimes, but I'm too scared to go do stuff by myself in cities I don't know. So I've traveled a lot of places, and it's cool to experience the airports. I love airports, but I get a sticker from every single place that I go, and I put it on my suitcase. Yeah.
So your suitcase is loaded.
It's loaded.
Okay.
Like, I probably need to buy a new suitcase. Ramoa, if you see this, I love Ramoa suitcases. They're the best.
So, Ramoa, yeah, you gotta shoot them an email.
Yeah, Ramoa, sponsor me. Come on. Get it together.
I was actually trying to get an Under Armour sponsorship.
Yeah.
Because they're Kent States.
Yeah.
But hopefully.
That's interesting.
I need something to wear while I'm on camera.
Yeah.
You see me with my was it distressed shirt. You see the ripped pants. I'm struggling over here. Punching the clock. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Nya Booker. Make sure to check out her work and give her a follow at FlixByNya_ on Instagram. Any last words?
I don't know. I don't have anything, but thank you.
Absolutely.
This is so fun.
Absolutely. I appreciate you coming down, having a good time. We are in the Blush Gallery Studios and located at Tower City. And for more information for upcoming events, make sure to give me a follow at aka.Smillz on all platforms. And yeah, this is the Punchin The Clock podcast. with DJ Smillz. Thanks for watching.
Bye, guys.
Watch a lot of football together. Browns, go Browns. You a Browns fan?
I am a Browns fan, but I'm a big Giants fan too.
Giants. Why the Giants?
Paris Campbell.
Okay, got you.
Yeah.
See, I'm not really a big football head, so anything out of the Browns, I'm like, I draw blanks.
Yeah.
I don't have a lot of time to watch.
I like the Dolphins because I like their colors.